RPG 2021. What about the other words? So I will talk to you about the other prompts from day 26, 27, 28. The main prompts have already been taken care of in videos, going through some PDFs that were running around my hard drive. So then I'll just ramble about the other prompts. Let's begin. So play. I'll take it from the stage play side. Okay, when you go to theater and see some people doing some live stuff, especially the improvised theater part of it. Why? Because I'd like to talk to you about an improvised theater troupe that is in my hometown. Well, before lockdown, they were every 2 weeks they were kind of giving a show. It was all improvised, and it was crazy and funny. Just to tell you about how it works in small, well, they're doing some small scenes, and all scenes they call it games, and every scene has some, kind of crazy constraint. Okay, let's say one of the actors is limited to some precise word, and he can't say other words, or it can be physical constraint, can be constraint about the text, constraint about the style, and it just goes all the way around, and they are very good. And not only that, on the top of that, okay, all the elements, well, many of the elements of what they're about to do, to improvise, is provided by the public. Okay, they do prepare their game, they know what game they will do, but let's say they will ask the public about what is the theme, what is the first scene they're in, this actor, what is his role, what is he doing there, who he is. Okay, so it's all provided by the public, and they're insanely good. Okay, it's a very crazy moment, and it's very inspiring. That kind of play, improvised play, it's very inspiring for role-playing games. I do take a lot of inspiration on how to time my game, the game frame, how to interact with other people, because they are champions in interaction. Okay, they do listen to each other, they do give the plays they have to each other, and in order for them to work, they have to be very fast. Okay, so yeah, so I do recommend to anyone who doesn't go to improvised theaters, check out if there's something within your reach that you can attend to, and go see them. It's very inspiring for role-playing games. I do love them. They are called Les Enfants du Feu, Child of the Fire. That is the troupe that is in my hometown, and I'm waiting for the time when they will come back, because this will give me many more inspiration for tabletop role-playing games, and how to organize that in the improvisation, and how to exchange promptly to make this happen, and fluid, and right. Next, origin. I'd like to talk to you about the origin of a character I'm portraying right now, Alphonse Riault, Brise-Cœur. Yes, in All for One Régime Diabolique, at last I can make this character. But this character was, when we started this campaign, this character was already created in my mind. Okay, so I have been doing some attempts in the past. Okay, kind of 25 years ago, more or less. I got into a game of the role-playing game was called Night Prowler. This is a French role-playing game, kind of fantasy role-playing game, taking place into a city, and we are all portraying roguish type of characters. So I created a character called Brise-Cœur, which was a swashbuckling and seducer, and my goal was to steal the jewelry of all the rich women I was seducing. Okay, it was a concept I was really happy about, but unfortunately we only did one session of this game. The game master abandoned the project after one session, which was a shame, because I really liked this game. I never had the chance to play it afterward. A couple of years later, I played GURPS, and we were playing those kind of time traveling agents. And in my character background, I took Briscar back. He wasn't called Briscar, but it was the concept, okay? So my character was someone who, in a earlier mission, he was stationed in France in 17th century, and he was the swashbuckling, seducing guy, okay? So I had the chance to play in 3 sessions, though it was very fun, never had the chance to go forward that, after that the adventure was over. So I wasn't satisfied yet. I wanted to have that Briscar into a game, so I was waiting for the right moment. It was in my bucket list of characters I wanted to do, and then All for One Régime Diabolique came, so I was very glad that it came, because I could at last play Briscar, and I'm very satisfied. I'm still, I did a lot with him. I still have some stuff to do with him, but for so far I'm very satisfied, and at last I have my character Briscar, swashbuckling musketeer and seducer. Right, next word, renew. I'll talk to you about another character I have portrayed. It was this time in Star Wars. I was a player in Star Wars. Maybe some of you remember the first version of D6, the first Game Master screen that came. It was called the Campaign Pack, and into that you had a campaign book, the Rickenese Roughneck, campaign. It was called like that. And one of the non-player character that was suggested was Captain Xmas. I don't know if I say it correctly in English, but it was that Ithorian with his ship, the Longshot, and we even had into that pack, the big poster map. Well, not the poster map, but the poster of the ship, the Longshot. I still have it. I remember when I was a game master back then, I really enjoyed portraying Xmas as a non-player character. It felt easy for me, natural. And Ithorians, the Hammerhead, is a race I do really love. I was always happy to have him around and interact with their players. I played him as a very, very straight and let's say anxious captain about his ship. He was very protective of his ship and all of that. So it allowed for many memorable scene of rivalry between characters and Xmas, and I always loved to portray him. In some recent years, I've been part of a Star Wars role-playing game. It was supposed to be a campaign, finally got through some sort of 8 sessions, but it was in the New Republic when the Game Master sent us the pitch of what it was supposed to be about. The only thing he said is that we were supposed to be force sensitive. And then I thought about Xmas. What happened to Xmas when the rebellion is over? And then I was inspired. I decided to renew, this is the word, renew Xmas into a newer version, a force-sensitive Xmas. I didn't want to have any force powers. I just wanted him to be force-sensitive. And the background I decided to do with him, with this renewed Captain Xmas, is that after the rebellion he felt something, so he felt that he had the force and decided to meditate. Okay, so the Longshot, he still have the ship. He decided that it was to be a space greenhouse. So throughout all the ship, there's something growing up. Okay, there's some vegetables or plants or trees that is growing in the ship, and he goes on meditation somewhere remote in the middle of the space, okay, with in the middle of nowhere, and he goes there for a couple of weeks, shutting down the life support and just supporting himself with the plants and the vegetation, and when the ship needed to be filled up, restart the life support, go to a planet, sell some vegetables, and then fill up his tank and go back in space. That was the concept, and I really loved him. He was more sage, the anxiety about this ship was almost gone, because I don't remember much about the adventure, but I remember that at some point someone tried to steal my ship, the Xmas ship, and then the good old Xmas came back. Okay, this is my ship. But he had to calm down, and at some point he wanted to atone himself in the middle of nowhere. So this is another character concept I'd like to bring someday. Maybe if I'm into a Star Wars role-playing game, maybe after the Rebellion, I could be tempted to say, hey, I'd like to play Captain Xmas, because I do really love him. I love Ithorians, so and his ship is cool. So now that his ship, it could be a big greenhouse. I really love the concept. I think it was original, but it felt Star Wars. So yeah, I made a renewed Captain Xmas for this occasion. Right, next, practice. Well, maybe if I had some advice to give to a new game master, practice would probably come. I hope to think about it, but it's very important. It's like anything in life, you have to practice. Because it might seem easy. You check out Critical Role, they seem to do it like easy. Probably most of the people who gets into role-playing game knows that it won't be like Critical Role, but nevertheless, it seems easy, or you can watch someone who game master the table for real, and it might seem easy. At the same time, you have to learn, you have to practice. So the first games, I would say to a new game master, might not be perfect. Make sure that it's fun, okay, right? You go around the rules and make fun stuff, and people will appreciate it. But don't worry, you have to practice. While you practice, you'll get more knowledge of the game. So you have to practice and keep practicing, so you'll be more comfortable with it. So that's simple as that. Practice is a good advice for new game masters. And even with when I get into a new game, I know that I'll have to practice the game. Okay, it might take me a couple of games to master it. So practice. Kindle. Well, right now I'm not into something, but I know that at some point I'll have inspiration, and then something will kindle my attention. Okay, I will be kindled about something, and I will get on fire, and I will be inspired, and I will do it, and I will have the urge to set up a game with that game system and all of that. And I know how it is. I've been doing this a lot of times since I've been role-playing game. I'm getting excited about something, and sometimes it's just a small idea that just put small fire. It kindles, and then I'm on fire, and I want to play a new game. I want to set up a new campaign. I'm reading up, I'm overboost. I'm reading fast and all of that. But yeah, so I like to be kindled. Group. It's all about the group. Role-playing games all about the group. Okay. I think whatever you're doing, it's to entertain the group. Your characters don't have to be friends. They can be rivals. But in the end, this rivalry must entertain the group. Okay, you do some things to entertain the group. You're a game master or a player, play towards the group. The goal is to have a group who have fun together. The group is I think something very important in role-playing games. So don't try to just do it for yourself and do personal challenges. Yes, there are personal challenges that you can do about this, but within your personal challenge, think about the group. This is a group. We're a group. We're playing together. Yes. Next, dream. It reminds me of a character. A female player that came into my D&D 3rd edition Elric campaign I had 20 years ago. I remember she was introduced with my game, so yeah, she didn't have it easy. 3rd edition was not an easy game to start with. Nevertheless, she was interested, and when we talk about her character, I don't remember exactly what she was doing. The only thing I might remember that she wasn't a spellcaster of any sort, but she wanted to have dreams, dreams that tells about the future. So I tried to figure this out. I had this big book. Back then they were publishing all of those books and catalogs of feeds. You had thousands of feeds into that. And flipping through the book, I found out that feed, the feed that made that possible, and it was giving dreams with some future hints. So I was glad that rules-wise I had found something that felt all right. And I think the player was pleased, because I was giving her some hints about the future. For the couple of sessions she came, well, while she was sleeping, she always had some hints. So I know that it pleased her a lot. I know that it was exciting for all the players about what she was able to tell them when she woke up. Yeah, she was there a couple of sessions. So I think the main thing was her dream tell about the future. And yeah, I think if there's something I think she enjoyed the most is that the fact that she could do it, and I allowed it, and I found the feet that let her do that. Next, open. It reminds me, I'll come back with Star Wars again, but I come back with the last game, the last Star Wars game. I was a game master. I was running the game for my oldest son and two of his friends. We began a small campaign. Maybe we did 3-4 sessions so far. It is to be continued someday, but so far we did 4 sessions, and I think the last session there was a very funny moment that happened, right? One of the characters is kind of a reptilian type of goon, like Bosk, the bounty hunter, kind of, it was a special race, and he was, he was a min-maxer, he put all of his stats into physical stuff, and the version of the D6 system we were using made intimidation as a strength skill, right? And at some point they were trying to retrieve someone into an imperial base, and they were captured. Well, that character was captured and put into some sort of a jail, and that was watched by stormtroopers. So he asked me, hey, can I try to talk to the guys, try to intimidate them and tell them to open the door? Looking back at it, the logical answer I should have tell is, well, I don't think it will work. They have strict orders. But nevertheless, I said, why not? Yeah, try an intimidation. But I put an a big target number, an astronomical target number. That's what I was saying. So I tell them, well, try to beat that. And it was say, well, probably will fail, but nevertheless I led him a chance by putting a target number. But D6 system with the wild die, what happens once in a while? The wild die began to explode, and he succeeded. So the thing is, he said, open the door, with his big reptilian voice. So he succeeded. The outcome of this could have been many things. It could have been they could have called the boss, their superior, or just run away, or but the quick thinking led me to, they opened the door. I don't know why I said this, but they opened the door. He came out of the prison and smashed the stormtrooper's head together, and we laughed a lot because it was on the verge of not making sense, but it was memorable, because every time I think about this game, I think about open the door. And in the 1000, when Alibaba comes into the cavern and say, I don't know if in English how they say it, but Sesame open up. I don't know if it's Sesame open up. I don't know if it's that in English, but it kind of worked. And it reminded me that if I give a target number and I allow a player to roll, I have to deal with the consequences of what will happen. So yeah, I said, okay, roll. Then I did go with it. And yeah, they did open the door because they were afraid of whatever, you know. And he came out and put the mess all around. You know, it was memorable. And you know what? Even if it was on the verge of not being very logical, it was just entertaining, you know. And when if we came back to this game, they will talk about this moment, and they will laugh about it, you know. So yeah, sometimes it happens, and it was memorable. Delve. Well, something I can't help stopping myself to do is when I get into a role-playing game, I will delve into information about the game world and the rules too, but more the gaming world. That's why I'm very picky on the gaming world for not having too much information, because I will go crazy. You know, I will never get into Lord of the Ring because there's too much stuff to take care about. I know that I could be, you know, just doing the surface of it, but I like to know stuff that maybe won't even be used in the game. It's just for me as a game master to get into the gaming world. Okay, so when I ran All for One Régime Diabolique, I'm searching in history books about all sorts of facts. You know, because I want to know what was going on, what was the field, and I discovered a lot of stuff. Some of them were used in the game, some of them are not. I like Star Wars, but Star Wars, the galaxy is so big, so I can you know, concentrate myself on some parts of the galaxy where some information I won't have to delve into, and just focus on some information that is useful for that part of the galaxy. But that's the way I am. You know, I like to delve into more information because, yeah, that's my way of doing things. Right, so it makes this one was very long. Sorry, but it was the last prompts of other prompts for RPG A Day 2021. As the making of this video, there's still one RPG A Day left in my playlist to show you, but maybe this video will come out after. But nevertheless, I was able to do all the main words and all the prompts of RPG A Day 2021 to spread positivity. Thanks for you, Dave Chapman, for giving us the chance once again to express ourselves throughout all the month of August, and I will probably be there next year. So see you guys, feel free to leave comments, and see you next time. Bye.